Yo, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of the Babblemouth podcast. Babblemouth, my guys. Anyway, today, in episode 5 of the Battlemouth, I keep saying Battlemouth. God damn it. But anyway, in today's episode of Babblemouth, I got some things I want to discuss, and, yeah, we're just going to keep going for it, Because I was thinking the other day, actually, that it's like, I don't know. It feels like sometimes I don't know what I'm going to be talking about in the next one, because I feel like eventually, uploading so many podcasts a week, I'm going to run out of ideas. And if you guys do notice like a lack, like let's say like 1 week I upload like 3 podcasts, and then the next week there's only 1, it's probably because I'm quickly running out of ideas. And don't be surprised when that eventually does happen, and we do slow down to once a week for a temporary amount of time. But as of right now, we should be good to go at least once, probably more like twice a week at this point. But there's some things I want to talk about today. We have some topics. I don't want to go over them because they're all going to be their individual things. But anyway, the first thing I do want to do in the podcast is to quickly thank my friend Iron Mage. I'm not going to say his real name because that's not for me to put out there publicly, but my friend Iron Mage, I do appreciate you for what you did for me. It was a little amount, but it was pretty big. I'm not gonna say what it was because it doesn't really matter. I just want to say publicly on the podcast, I do appreciate you, and that I'd kiss you on the mouth if you weren't so far away. Other than that, we are gonna move on to this. I actually want to go over this quickly because it really isn't that big of like a topic necessarily, but what are you guys' thoughts? Because I've been saving every single podcast audio. I have been saving up for this to potentially happen eventually, and I'll probably end up doing it no matter what, but I just want to know what you guys' thoughts on it. But my thought is right now is, what are you guys' thoughts on me adding the podcast adding the podcast to YouTube? Because I've been saving all of the video files, or the audio files, sorry, not the video, all the audio files, and then just putting it in a folder and saving them, so that this eventually would happen. So what are you guys' thoughts on it going on YouTube? It would be on a different YouTube channel from my main. It'd be on its own channel just for this solely. So what are you guys' thoughts? Tweet at me at ImNexusss. I'm going to start putting my Twitter down in the description. I'll go through all of the episodes, and I'll re-add my Twitter down below in the description so you guys know what it is. But everyone, tweet at me what you guys' thoughts are on this. If you are enjoying the podcast, make sure you also share it with your friends, guys. Let's get this podcast rolling, boys. Let's get it rolling. We got plenty big things are coming, let's just say that. And we're going to be talking about some things here. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on me adding the podcast to its own YouTube channel? I feel like mainly this would be really big just because, it's another platform they can be on. Because currently, the podcast is on 7 platforms. I don't know if that includes Anchor. I don't know. But I do know it's on 7. I know it's on Spotify, Apple Podcast, it's on Google Podcast, it's on those little random ones. Pretty much anywhere you can listen to podcasts it is. The only place that's not is YouTube. And we can put it on YouTube, and I'll probably end up doing it anyway. But if you guys want it on YouTube, maybe it'll make it easier for some of you to listen to the podcast. Then I can put it on YouTube, and then it'll just be free to listen to whenever you want. I feel like that'd be, we're hitting more people as well. We can branch out a lot more, because YouTube is definitely a pretty big platform for certain podcasts. And, as of right now, this podcast is just an audio podcast. It's not video, but maybe down the line, maybe you guys want to see video podcasts. Because I did have an idea for video podcasts. Let me go over this as well for you. I had the idea of what if like every 10th episode, let's say like episode 10 and then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, then 60, every 10th episode, what if that was a video podcast? But then it's kind of random, like why every 10th? And then I was thinking, what if it was every 5th episode? But obviously this episode's not video podcast, so I guess this wouldn't really start until the 10th one. But it just depends. What do you guys think? Like I said, tweet at me with your thoughts and opinions on this. I think eventually I might even make a separate Twitter for the podcast if it does get bigger. I guess it just really depends. I don't know about the Twitter thing. That just came to my head. But the YouTube thing I have been thinking about. So if you guys, like I said, just tweet at me what your guys' thoughts on me putting the podcast on YouTube. And also, like I said, it'll probably be on YouTube anyway, eventually. Maybe after this episode, I'll just end up doing it no matter what. But let me guys know what your thoughts are on my Twitter at ImNexusss. And like I said, it'll be down in the description as well. But the next thing I want to talk about involving my YouTube channel, my current YouTube, is what are you guys' thoughts? Because I've been playing a lot of Clash of Clans, and I did talk about this already on the podcast like a while back. I think it was actually like last... It was episode 3 or episode 4 I talked about that I was playing Clash of Clans now. And I was thinking, I didn't actually know that my phone could do this. I don't know if it's like a recent update that they did to the iPhones, but my phone can record the screen now. I didn't know that it could do this. And I tried it, and it's actually really good quality. I don't know what quality it is. I'm assuming 1080p. It's probably just whatever your recording quality is in the actual settings. And it looks just like my phone looks. I'm assuming it's 1080p like 60 or some shit, or 1080 30. But what are you guys' thoughts on me recording some Clash of Clans video for you guys, and then I know uploading them every once in a while? Like I said, you're gonna have to tweet at me at ImNexusss on my Twitter or my DMs on Instagram, wherever, just wherever. And all of my socials are at ImNexusss, ImNexusss. Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on me recording Clash of Clans for my current YouTube channel? But yeah, just let me know all these things, guys. Just let me know on my Twitter. That's all I ask. Just do it. If you guys don't want it, then I won't do it. If you guys don't want me to waste my time making Clash of Clans videos, then I won't do it, and then I'll just play the game off screen, and then that'll be it. But if you guys think it's a good idea, then let me know down below. Also, I'm not recording in the closet. I'm actually sitting on my bed recording this episode so that I can see. I don't know, just there's no one here today, so that I can actually go full volume into the mic without annoying anybody else that's in the apartment. Because that's one of the other reasons, other than the fact that the closet there's not a lot of echo in the closet. So future episodes, there'll be episodes in the closet, and there's also going to be episodes where I'm just not in the closet. So, that's how it is. Sometimes we're going to leave the closet, We're not going to be closeted forever. But yeah, most of the time we will be in the closet. Once I get an actual podcast setup in the closet, then all the episodes will probably be in the closet, because I have an idea. It's going to take some time, but I want to get a laptop and then a different microphone there's just going to be a podcast setup inside the closet. But that's a future plan that's way down the line, not going to happen anytime soon. So, but yeah, that's going to happen eventually, depending on how long I actually end up doing this podcast. If I end up stopping it, then that's how it is. But anyway, yeah. Clash of Clans, let me know what you think. But I did want to talk about this as well. We're going through my topics really fucking fast, by the way. Really fast. This might be a short episode if it ends up being, because we're going through these topics really quick. But this one will probably take up a little bit of time. So just the other day, I did my return stream. What day was it? It was like Sunday, I think. I think it was Sunday. It would have had to have been Sunday. But Sunday, yeah, it was Sunday. Sunday, I did my return stream, and unfortunately, for the first 52-ish minutes, I had the Twitch Inspector link. There's this thing on Twitch Inspector to where you put part of a stream key on the end of your stream key, and I still had it on my stream key, so I was streaming to Twitch Inspector for 52 minutes. And I didn't fucking think about it, because I was because I was just so fucking pissed. I was like, why is there no one in this stream? It says there's been 0 viewers this whole time. And I was like, that literally makes no sense. There's no fucking way. And then I remembered, it's like, oh shit. I didn't take the Twitch Inspector shit out. So for 52 minutes, I was streaming to nobody, and it was very upsetting. But it's fine. Then I took it out. And then the VOD is still up on my Twitch, so you can see when I finally figured it out. And then I just kind of picked it up where we left off. But yeah, then I streamed for I don't even know what it was, 3.5. It was like a 5-hour stream at the end of it, if you count the Twitch Inspector time. But yeah, it was crazy. It was good. It was my first real experience with Among Us. Me and my friend Iron Mage, we played for it was 5 hours. We played in random lobbies, and it was we won. I feel like we won a lot of the time. I didn't get imposter that many times. I think out of the fucking however many matches we played, I probably got imposter probably 4 or 5 times out of I don't know, 30 30, 35 matches. We played quite a few. We played a lot of matches, it seemed like. I didn't get imposter that many times. I think I won as imposter. Like, I think probably like, if I don't know how many times I got imposter. Probably like 4 or 5 times. I think I won like 3 of them. But I could be wrong. I feel like I won a lot of the matches throughout the night. Because when you're playing with random lobbies, they kind of just take what you say as 100% fact. So, I don't know. Because it does seem like a lot of people on mobile, I mean, a lot of Among Us players, on random lobbies at least, play on mobile. So they kind of just, whatever you say, they kind of just accept it. Because they really can't type very fast on mobile. Because obviously if you're on a keyboard, you're going to type way fucking faster than any of them. So you can instantly accuse them and boom, they're gone. They don't really have a say. So it's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. But in terms of my first experience with the game, it was pretty fun. It's a pretty fun game. I think it's going to be a lot more fun when eventually we play with an entire Discord instead of just me and him and then randoms. Because we didn't have the randoms in the Discord. It was just me and Mage sitting in Discord. Which eventually me and Mage just stopped muting each other and just were talking. Even if I was an imposter and he was a crewmate, we were still talking to each other. And there was a few times where me and him, I think it was like it was me and him both got imposter, I think like 3 times. So I think I got imposter more than I think I did. But when me and him both got imposter, we would win like every time. We got it like 3 times when it was both me and him. And when you're in Discord and you're both imposter and you're not muting and you're talking to each other, oh my god, it is actually insane how much information is actually being lost when they're not talking to the other imposter. But hey, I did have an idea. I feel like they should do this either in this Among Us or when they do make Among Us 2 eventually. I feel like they need to have in-game chat because the typing, I think it just doesn't work for this game. It just takes too long for some people to type. There should be an in-game voice chat only for when you're in a meeting. And then when the meetings are done, everyone gets instantly muted. Unless you're in like a Discord or something. Then obviously you would have to do it yourself. But like in-game, it should be everyone is talking. But then when the meeting's over, everyone instantly gets muted. I mean, there has to be a system for that, I'm sure. But that's what I think they should do. They should add voice chat. And if you still want to type, then you can type. Because obviously not every single person in the world is going to have a microphone. Even though it's 2020, you should have a mic by this point. Even if it's just a shitty headset mic. Most headset mics nowadays aren't that bad. But hey, you should have a mic. The fucking PS4 came with a little earbud that had a microphone on it. The Xbox One came with a mic. And you should have a mic in 2020. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be some fancy Shure M7B. It doesn't have to be a Blue Yeti. It doesn't have to be an AT2020, 2035. It doesn't have to be anything like that. Just a fucking headset mic. Or if it's just a fucking weird-ass mic. It doesn't just have a mic. It's not hard. It's 2020, guys. It shouldn't be that difficult. But yeah, overall, Among Us, very good game. I would definitely rate it. I mean, in the current state of the game, out of 10, I'd probably give it like I want to say 7.5, but I think I'm probably going to give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 overall. It's a good game. But I also tried to stream Fallout 3. And I say tried because it was working for about 30 minutes until I got to this point in Vault 101 in the very beginning when you're leaving. Like, as soon as you're about to open the vault, you go into this room. So you open the Overseer's exit area. You go down and you open a door that's down there. And then it loads into another area. So basically it loaded, but for whatever reason, since it's probably because it's a Windows fucking Vista game or whatever, this is probably the reason. I opened the door, it was working, I moved for like half a second, then boom, the game froze and crashed. And my unlucky bullshit ass Alt F4'd, and for some reason, it decided that it was going to close Slobs, which is the streaming program I use. And I don't know why it closed Slobs. But then the stream ended, and then I just fucking restarted the PC. Then I just tweeted out saying, fuck this, we're going to try again tomorrow. So I don't even know if I'm going to stream today. But if I am going to stream today, and you're listening to this episode currently, on Tuesday, October 6th today? If you're listening to this episode October 6th, then I may may or may not be streaming tonight. I don't know what it's going to be, but I might. I'm assuming I'll probably just play Among Us. Probably just go in random lobbies solo. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might jump on Final Fantasy. I could do Among Us. I could try Fallout 3 again. I could do fucking Rogue Company. I almost said Rogue Energy. But yeah, Rogue Company. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to see what happens, because I'm not sure if I'm going to stream. But another thing that happened today, which is interesting, because I was supposed to work today, and then this morning I woke up, and I had a bit of a sore throat. I'm not going to say it's a bit of, because it was just a sore throat. And then I was like, oh, it must be dry mouth. Well, then eventually, I ended up actually fully getting out of bed and drinking something, and it didn't go away. So I'm like, oh, my throat's not dry. So I guess I have a sore throat. And I kind of still feel it a little bit. But I also had congestion and like a headache and a bit of and for some reason my stomach's also been feeling weird all day. I don't know, man. I wouldn't say it's COVID, because I went into work, and we have this area where you have to get checked to make sure you don't have you're not running a fever, and then you have to confirm symptoms with them. And I've always said no, because I've always been fine. And then this morning I had a sore throat, and then I went in and told them, yeah, I have a sore throat, and I have congestion, and I have a little cough as well. And then eventually a manager had to come in and confirm everything, and then ultimately they asked, what do I want to do? And I said, what if I just go home today, see what happens, and if it doesn't get better, and then I'll have to call a 1-800 number. And then they agreed to that. So that's what we're doing right now. I'll probably end up being fine. I mean, I seem fine as of right now. I mean, the congestion is pretty much gone. I think the congestion was more of just, I have nasal issues to begin with, so it's really not, it's not allergies. It's not because of that, because I still kind of feel the sore throat, but the sore throat's kind of gone as well. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but the headache is gone. The congestion is cleared. I can still feel the sore throat a little bit. I still feel kind of weird in my stomach area, but we'll see what happens. As of right now, in this moment, I probably will end up being fine. So anyone who was listening to this and is like, oh, you're fucking dying, you fucking asshole. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm fine. But anyway, yeah, I got sent home. That was interesting. But yeah. Just to be safe, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go home. I'm not going to risk actually having this fucking disease and then getting other people sick, because my crew is already shorthanded as it is. I don't want to screw everyone else. So yeah, I was sent home today, which is, I mean, it kind of sucks at the same time, because money is nice. And like I was saying, this debt collector I have to pay. But I have a plan in motion to make everything work out. I mean, the debt collector is pretty much already done for. They're going to be taking money on 15th, so, and that will be done with that forever, which is nice. But I have a plan, and the plan is going to work. And that's a fact. I just have to talk to some people and make sure everything else is good, and then we'll be fine. But yeah. Also, more big news. I've been messing around with a lot of settings in games, which is also why I brought up some other games to stream, like Rogue Company. I've been messing around with settings, and I should be able to stream games like Apex Legends. I think I can actually stream it. Rogue Company, I should be able to stream as well. Obviously, Among Us, Fallout 3, Final Fantasy, I should also be able to stream. Tarkov, I'm going to have to keep messing with that one, because that one's a little bit trickier. But if I can get Tarkov to work, then yes, I am going to be streaming, because that's the game, out of all of the games that I'm currently playing, that is the one game that I actually want to play out of all of them. I mean, obviously, Among Us is fun, Final Fantasy is good, all of these games are fun to play, but Tarkov that's my fucking game that I want to be playing right now, and currently it is a little difficult. So, if I can get some settings to work smoothly enough, then it ended up probably being that. But I gotta mess with some more settings, and I'm gonna be doing that here soon. But other than that, that's pretty much it for that. I don't really have anything else to talk about that. Stream games. I can't think of any other games that I'm gonna be trying. I mean, I re-downloaded Fall Guys. I can definitely stream that. So I might do some. Maybe one day I'll do a bit of Among Us and then Fall Guys one day. I don't know. Fall Guys seems to have killed itself as it does. I don't know if it necessarily killed itself. There's still like a decent audience playing it. It's like, I think I checked last night in the middle of the night. It was like 21,000 people, which is not bad. Which is what a lot of 21,000 concurrent players consistently for that kind of game isn't bad. But eventually that is also gonna die. But their new season is on Thursday. It would have to be Thursday, October 8th. They have their new season dropping, so they'll probably get a bunch of new people. A bunch of people will probably jump in and start playing it again. But for how long, I don't know. That game, I feel like that game definitely hit its peak. And now it's kind of just going to be steady. And then I feel like it's going to be a kind of game where like Fortnite is currently. Where it's going to peak in the beginning of the season. But after a few days, it's just gonna flatline for the rest of the season. It's gonna drop, and then eventually it's just gonna flatline. I feel like that's what this game's gonna do. It's gonna peak for a couple of days, and then it's gonna it's gonna drop. And then it's just gonna flatline for the rest of it, until eventually it just continuously drops, and then eventually they just stop supporting it, which I don't think is gonna happen anytime soon. Because Fall Guys is still a pretty decently sized game. It just needs new content, which they're in a position to where I feel like this game probably would still be really, really popular right now if they were constantly adding new fucking games. Like, every couple of weeks there was new game. Not even like every week. If they were adding like a new map like every single week. But that'd be a ton of work. They would need a really big team to do that. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Fall Guys. But I might stream a little bit of Fall Guys because it is, at the end of the day, it is a fun game. It is one of the games that I do rage at, so I'm going to not do that next time. In terms of Modern Warfare, I don't know if I'll be able to stream that one. That one's going to be a little tricky. But, like I was talking about, I think it was last episode, it actually runs decently well. But I'll have to keep messing around with the settings on that one, so maybe, eventually, maybe I will stream it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for that one, but yeah, there's some games we're gonna be working on, so eventually we can increase my roster for streaming. But I do have some other news I want to talk about. So last night I was messing around, and basically where I'm going with this is, so I'm building a new PC instead of just getting parts for this current one. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to just build a brand new PC from the ground up, new case, new motherboard, new everything. And it's going to be nice. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to pick off pieces into the point where eventually when I almost have enough of the pieces to build it, we're just going to sell this PC that I currently have. We're just going to sell it. And then boom, whatever money I get from that, we're going to put towards the new one. And then we're good to go. We're going to get a Gucci go, which we haven't started that yet. But the new PC build, I believe, is like $1,600, only because the graphics card, the CPU, those are going to be big monies. No matter really what I do, they're going to be big. But the motherboard I'm getting does support Ryzen 3, Generation 3 Ryzen chips. So, but we're going to go back. We're going to go back to the Ryzen 2700X for now, and then eventually we'll get like a Ryzen 9 or some shit. And then probably like a 3080 graphics card down the line. But we're just going to go back to the Ryzen 2700X and the NVIDIA 2070 as well. We're going to keep the RTX card from the NVIDIA. We're just going to keep doing that. That's like the only graphics card at Best Buy that's not sold out. Because the 2060 Super was the one I wanted to go for. Because I'm pretty sure, has a faster boot clock. No. Has a faster core. No, what is it? Fuck, I forgot. I think it was base. Yeah, base clock. The base clock is what it's called, I believe. Anyway, the default speed on the 2060 Super was actually faster than the 2070. I think it was. But one of the things I never did with my 2070 was boost it. And the boost clock on the 2070 was 1700 and it was like 1770. And I never did that to my graphics card. So we're just going to get the 2070 and we're just going to boost it to some amount. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I I can't name every single piece that I'm getting, cause not because I'm trying to hide it, because it's a fucking secret, but I just don't remember. I don't even remember what the fucking case I chose was. It's like fractal, or it's like, I don't remember what it's called. It's fractal something. It's pretty crazy looking. It's a cool looking case for sure. But yeah, it's gonna be nice. I don't know how long this is gonna take. I still have many things to deal with before we even really get started on it. I think the best way to go at this, though, is to pick off the big items first and then get the smaller items. But I feel like a lot of people would argue that it'd be better to get the smaller items first and then focus on the big items. But here's why I want to get the big items first. So if I get the CPU now and the graphics card now, I can still use those in this PC. And then we can work on getting the new case, the new motherboard, the new this and that and this and that. Because if I have the graphics card and the CPU, then we're good to go. We just have to get it. And I might even get one of the M.2s because the new PC is going to have a 1TB SSD, a 1TB M.2, and then a little 250 gig M.2 just for the booting, and then some of the apps. That's where my apps are going to go. And then the other SSDs are going to be for everything else. Because currently in this PC right now, I had an M.2. Don't have that anymore, obviously, as you know. Then I have a 120 gig SSD. And then I have a 2TB mechanical hard drive. And I want to get rid of the mechanical hard drive. So like I said, we're going to do two M.2s and then an SSD. Which is going to fucking be magical. There's going to be less fans running, I don't know how much power they run, but I'd assume they're consuming less power, which is going to be nice. I think it was an 850 fully module power supply, which I might actually change it to a semi-module, because I don't really care about custom cabling. So I might change it to a semi-module just to drop the price a little bit. At least I would think the price would drop. I'm not 100% sure on the price dropping part, but yeah, we'll see. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. That's all I really got for this podcast. I just wanted to make one. And this is probably the most topics I've ever had on a list, and yet probably the fastest I've gone through them. But yeah, so, yeah, that's all I got for today. I still haven't finished the intro song or the intro anything. But I think on the beginning of this episode, there's going to be one. So I'm going to throw something together, because I was working on an intro song, but then I scrapped it. But then I have this other idea that I think will be fucking hilarious. It's real basic and kind of not even that great, but I think it'll be real funny. So we're going to do it. Maybe not necessarily funny, but it'll fit the style of this podcast in terms of being kind of, I guess, rushed and put together and then quickly put out there. Because I pretty much make these episodes. I literally record it, render it, put it on. Like, it literally, as soon as you hear this, the episode literally was recorded like fucking 2 minutes. If I recorded this at 9 and I finished recording at 9:30, the episode would be up at like 9:35. Like, that's how fast they get up. I record it and post like instantly. I don't cut through anything. If I have to cut through anything, and then I'd probably just restart the entire podcast. But so far we're so good. So other than that, guys, I do appreciate everyone for listening to the podcast. We have been growing every single post, so let's keep that going. Like I said, share to your friends, family, on your social medias. Just put it out there. I'd appreciate it. As of now, like I said, a couple episodes a week. I might run out of ideas. But yeah, this is just a fun little thing that I like to do on the side for now, at least, until either we run out of ideas ultimately, or, you never know what can happen down the line in the future. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.